What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my UFC Fight Night 16 Fight for the Troops predictions, taking place December 10th from Fort Bragg. What a great way to give back to our men and women who are serving overseas. This is a decent card. I'm going to work my way from the bottom of the main card all the way to the top like I normally do. First fight of the night, Frankie Edgar taking on Matt Wiman. Frankie Edgar training out of Toms River, New Jersey. Division I wrestler, well-rounded, good hands, good ground game. He's really better suited for 145 if he could cut down to there, which I think he could, or even 135, which is really drastic, but if he could get to 135, either one of those weight classes I think is better suited for him. But nonetheless, his last couple fights, Hermes Franca, Gray Maynard, Spencer Fisher, Mark Bocek, Tyson Griffin, the list goes on for him. Taking on Matt Wiman, who has an underrated ground game, good hands. We got to see just how good his hands were against Thiago Tavares with that knockout, vicious knockout. He's also fought Justin Buchholz, Michihiro Omagawa, Brian Garrity, and also he got victimized by the Spencer Fisher flying knee. In this fight, I think Edgar is able to last on the feet with Wiman, get the fight down to the ground, control position. He showed a lot of heart in the Franca fight. He was in a couple tough spots. I think he can survive on the feet long enough to get it to the ground, control position, and I think Frankie Edgar wins a unanimous decision. Next fight, Tim Crater taking on Nate Loughran. Tim Crater, black belt in judo, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, good striker, good leg kicks, good hands. His last couple fights, Cale Yarborough. He also fought Chael Sonnen and Joey Villasenor. Nate Loughran, green belt in judo, blue belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, training out of the NorCal Fighting Alliance. His last fight, I do believe, was Johnny Reyes. He's got good hands, but in this fight, I think Crater will be able to come out of the gate, put Loughran in some sticky situations, get him out of his comfort zone. I think Crater can control position on the ground, which I see this fight going to the ground at some points. But I think Crater's going to try to keep the fight standing, use his leg kicks, use his hands, and I see Crater winning a unanimous decision. Okay, on to the next fight. Steve Cantwell taking on Razak Al-Hassan. Steve Cantwell was the WEC light heavyweight champion. The WEC, of course, being owned by Zuffa. Zuffa has tried to phase out the light heavyweight and middleweight divisions of the WEC, so Cantwell has moved up. He's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Very, very good striker. He has devastating knockout power in both of his hands. Very good clinch. He's very, very good in the clinch. We saw that in his fight against Brian Stann, where he won the WC Light Heavyweight Championship. He's also fought Tim McKenzie and Justin McElfresh. Taking on Razak Al-Hassan, who has he's a decent grappler, good ground game, good striker. His last fight was against Andrew Forte in Extreme Challenge. I see Cantwell coming out, using his jab, his 1-2 combination, clinching up with Al-Hassan, putting him in a uncomfortable position, being able to control position, and I think Cantwell registers a second-round TKO. I think he catches Al-Hassan and drops him and finishes the fight on the ground. So I'm going to go with Steve Cantwell via a second-round TKO. Next fight, Mike Swick taking on Jonathan Goulet. Mike Swick training out of the American Kickboxing Academy, a.k.a. Mike Swick, devastating hands. He's a very, very good striker. Good grappler. He's got an underrated grappling game. A lot of people don't realize that he does have good grappling skills. His last couple fights, Marcus Davis, Josh Berkman, Yushin Okami, David Milazzo, Joe Riggs. The list goes on. Jonathan Goulet, blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, has the Muay Thai background, training out of Team UCC. His last couple fights, Kunayoshi Hiranaka, Dustin Hazlett, Josh Koscheck. In this fight, I think Mike Swick will be smart. I think he's going to come in with a game plan, similar to kind of what he did with Berkman and Davis. I think that he's able to come in, impose his will on the feet, use leg kicks, use his jab, use 1-2 combinations. If the fight goes to the ground, I think he'll be smart enough to stay out of submissions, work some ground and pound. And I think that Mike Swick is going to win a unanimous decision. I was going to pick Mike Swick via a second-round TKO, but I think Goulet is going to be able to last on the feet. But I think Swick's going to come in with a very well put-together game plan, and I think he's going to pick apart Goulet and registered the unanimous decision. All right, on to the main event. Josh Koscheck taking on Yoshiyuki Yoshida. Josh Koscheck, of course, Division I wrestler. Very, very good grappler. He's got a good grappling game, underrated grappling game, training out of AKA. Good hands. He's improved on his striking. He's got good leg kicks now. His last fight, he stepped in to fight Thiago Alves, lost that fight. Has fought Chris Lytle, Dustin Hazlett, GSP. Taking on Yoshiyuki Yoshida, who is a 4th degree black belt in judo, training out of the Tokyo Yellowmons. Yoshiyuki Yoshida, his last fight was against John Koppenhaver, and also he's fought Akira Kikuchi in the past. Was supposed to fight, oh man, well, I can't think of his name right now, Karo Parisian, not too long ago, but Karo Parisian having to pull out because of an injury. So in this fight, I think Yoshiyuki Yoshida is going to be able to impose his will on the feet. I think he's a better striker than Koscheck. He's got good hands, good elbows, good leg kicks. But I think Koscheck will be able to get this fight to the ground, stay out of precarious positions, not get caught in any submissions. And I think Josh Koscheck is going to win a split decision. This is going to be a very close fight, a lot closer than most people think. Yoshida has very, very good judo. He's got good wrestling in his own right. He can take people down. He can sweep. He can control position. He's a good striker. But I think Koscheck will be able to do enough on the ground, be able to get enough takedowns, work some ground and pound, last long enough on the feet, work in and out of the clinch. And I'm going to give Josh Koscheck the split decision. I think he's going to win a split decision. So these were my predictions for the UFC Fight Night 16. Leave me some comments, constructive, negative, positive. I'll be back the night of or the night after to do my review video. And on that note, you guys, have a great day.